Doreen Granpeesheh is the
Dr. Doreen is an expert in autism.
Doreen Granpeesheh.
Dr. Granpeesheh.
Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh.
Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh is a visionary in the field of autism. Now you can ask her questions on Ask Dr. Doreen.
But somebody has been waiting. They asked the first question. I want to make sure we get to their question. I have a question that my child jumps while pooping. He does not know how to squat. He is 4.5 years old. And she goes on to say that another problem he has, he bangs objects because of sensory issues. How can I resolve this banging issue?
So these are totally different things, and we can talk about them. One of the things I think that's very helpful to remember is that whenever you are trying to teach a specific behavior, a specific skill, focus on that one skill and not two skills at the same time. It just, things are harder when you're, and you and I have talked about this a lot, Shannon, it's like, you know, we see a problem arise in day-to-day life and then we try to deal with it there.
Yeah.
And that's not the way to teach a skill. So for this child, you are trying to get him to be toilet trained, but part of that process, as you've been doing that, is he doesn't know how to squat. And I assume this question is from a part of the world, you know, in the Middle East, for instance, countries, there are countries where the toilet is actually like a hole in the ground and you have to squat in order to go. So what I'm trying to tell you is don't try to fix the squatting behavior when it's time to go to the bathroom. Practice the squatting behavior on its own.
Yeah.
So not when he's going to the bathroom, practice the squatting behavior. So perhaps not even at the toilet, but in different, like just in front of a mirror or sit in front of him and hold his hands and squat. And give him a word for it, whatever that word may be in your language, where you're saying squat and you push him down and you help him to squat.
Yeah.
Reward that and then walk away. Keep doing that so that the behavior of squatting becomes a behavior he is not only familiar with, he knows the instruction for it, and he knows that when he does it, he gets rewarded.
Yeah.
Once you do that a few times, he will learn how to squat, and then you can actually use that command, squat, when you use the bathroom. So that's very important to separate those two things, because otherwise the whole experience of going to the bathroom can become aversive, because now you're trying to teach him a new concept. He might not know what he's doing. He might get confused about what he's doing wrong. You never want to do that.
Yeah.
So that's how you kind of deal with the squatting issue. The other thing was hitting banging, and I'm not sure like what he is banging, but I will tell you that, you know, we had a little child who used to bang things and would hold sticks and bang against things as a sensory item, and one of our therapists had the brilliant idea of putting a drum in front of him when he banged, and so he would then pick up a stick and bang it on the drum, and now he is an incredible drummer, incredible, and completely fully recovered, by the way, but we gave him a adaptive way to use that particular need. And, you know, I'm not saying you want to allow the individual to bang all the time, but when you give the child an out, a time that is kind of limited but also allowed, and something that is adaptive and rewarding, then they will focus their need to bang something on that and won't need to do it all day long. So that's how you do it. You give the child some, maybe you can use a musical instrument. I'm not sure how he's banging, but maybe you can turn that into something that he's allowed to do a particular portion of the day or hour or whatever it might be. Then the rest of the time you take away that object and block it from happening. You always want to be fair.
Yeah, she says he bangs every object.
Exactly. So you need to identify a specific object where he uses that, it's okay to bang. Anything else, no, you take it away. And so he will learn to discriminate, oh, when I have this particular drumstick, I can bang.
Yeah.
When I don't have this, I'm not allowed to bang and I need to do something else. And that's the other part of it, is keep him occupied with something else This is called differential reinforcement of incompatible behavior, which means if he's banging like this, give his hands something to do that are incompatible with this motion, right? So for instance, drawing might be one, just sitting on his hands, putting his hands in his pocket, holding an object. There's lots of things that are incompatible with this.
I just watched a movie on Netflix. It's on Netflix right now called I Used to Be Famous. And it's, we reviewed it last week, and I gave it a bad review because I didn't think it was a great movie. Some of you loved it. I did say that there's a part of it that I love, that there's a boy who's actually autistic who was cast in the role of a boy who is autistic in the film, and he's a drummer, and he's a real drummer, and the kid is really drumming in the movie. It's a British movie, and the child is British. The child, he's a teenager, is British, and what's interesting is that he drums on everything. That he carries his drumsticks with him, and he drums on the bus seat. And he drums on, and the mom has set up a rack with pots, and he drums on those, and they take them into a concert with it. And it might be fun for you to watch to see that there's a possibility that that at some point this might be his strength. Like, isn't it funny when sometimes when we're like, oh, this is a problem, and it ends up being your child's superpower.
Absolutely.
So it might be fun for you to see that and see that it can be shaped into being something that is a superpower. And if
Definitely.
I think we're totally allowed to say the other drummer, because they can go and look him up on the internet, that we're aware of is Logan Shepherd. It's Logan Ellis Shepherd if you're looking for him. And he, I mean, watch him drum, and he is absolutely amazing.
Look him up on social media. He's brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Chops is what I hear. Like professional drummers, they're like, oh, that kid has chops.
Yeah.
I saw him play once with the guitarist from Kiss, and he was like, that kid has chops.
Oh yeah,
right?
He's unbelievable.
Absolutely amazing. I do want to make sure that I say hello, because I passed over. Was it Huma? There it is, Huma from Pakistan. Huma, so thrilled that you are here.
Don't forget, you can watch Ask Dr. Doreen live every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We hope to see you there.